Hey guys, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Sam.
We're with Final Camera Gear, and we are here to review the new GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black Edition.
Yeah. We're going to be comparing the GoPro Hero 3 Plus to the GoPro Hero 3. Both of them are going to be Black Editions, and we're going to be really testing the features one against each other.
So the big question of the day is the new GoPro enough change to actually drop some money and buy one?
Yep.
Some of the new features we've heard about are it's a little bit smaller, it's a little bit lighter.
Better audio. Better Wi-Fi capabilities.
Better battery life. That's going to be
Yep.
a huge one to test to see if you can get more record time out in the field.
Yep.
It's also a new view mode called SuperView. It's a little bit wider angle. We haven't tested it yet, but we're going to let you guys know how it works. To do all this, we 3D printed a new Rhino GoPro comparison tool, which basically will put both the cameras side by side so you can see footage as the viewer and make your decision based on the GoPro Hero 3 and the GoPro Hero 3 Plus footage. All right, so we're out in the field. We're gonna test the new Wi-Fi range of the GoPro 3 Plus. It's supposed to be 4 times faster, and we'll see what happens. I'm here with Adam with Axis Flight Systems, and he has his octocopter, and we're comparing both the GoPro Hero 3 and the 3 Plus. We're gonna test sharpness and the Wi-Fi range. Let's see what happens. All right, so we're having a little bit of interference with our Wi-Fi signal. It seems like this thing actually is controlled off Wi-Fi.
Yeah, 2.4 gigahertz.
Okay, 2.4 gigahertz. Same frequency as the GoPro, so we're not really getting a good test for the range of the Wi-Fi because it's cutting out intermittently. We're gonna do that test a little bit later at a different location when we don't have interference from this guy. All right, so we are at a track. We're gonna test the Wi-Fi capabilities for the second time. It didn't work the first time when we had both the GoPros on. Sam, you want to go ahead? And we're recording this screen right now. It's going to show Sam walking. There's still about a 3-second delay. Looks like the frame rate is a little bit better than the original GoPro 3. So we're at 10 yards. Looking great. We're at 20 yards. We're looking good. 30 yards, we're still good. 40 yards. Now GoPro claims that you can get up to 600 feet, which would be about 200 yards with this. Oh, okay. We had a little bit of a hiccup there where the frame rate dropped. It looks like we're losing Wi-Fi signal. The top right of the screen looks like our Wi-Fi meters. Yeah, I think we're gone. Okay, we're not getting any more transmission anymore. They stopped at around 50 yards. All right, now we're gonna try the original Hero 3 and see the Wi-Fi range with that.
Here goes.
All right, he's at about the 10-yard line. The preview stopped at about the 10. Oh, we're getting a little bit more. It says he's at the 15. It's stopping again. Yeah, it cut out at about the 15-yard line. All right, so the Hero 3 Plus is definitely an improvement. It's not necessarily the 600 feet range that they say it is, at least in our testing. We have a lot more testing to do. All right, so our next test is going to be exploring the new SuperView mode on the GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black Edition. We're testing it against the original GoPro Hero 3, and we have the Rhino swivel mount on top of my good friend Brian's helmet, and let's go for a little test drive and see what it looks like. All right, so next we're gonna compare the audio from the GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black Edition to the GoPro Hero 3. So this is our two GoPros set up as if you'd be recording a live music performance. And we're gonna do it with the casings on and with the frame and compare the audio quality.
So we'll start with a single tone. And that comes through clearly, but when you have multiple tones at the same time, that's when a lot of cameras fall apart.
All right, so our next test is going to be comparing the battery life from the new GoPro Hero 3 Plus to the older GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition.
Yeah.
Now, we've been filming for the past couple days, and we have noticed that the battery life has been better, but we want to actually do a test for you guys, recording in 1080p at 24 frames a second. So we're going to turn on both these cameras. All right, we're going to record. Start the timer. We'll see what happens. All right, so our next test is going to be comparing the low light capabilities of the GoPro Hero 3 Plus to the GoPro Hero 3. We have it mounted on a sport bike behind me, and we're going to race it through the streets and see which one performs better. So after spending a day with the GoPro Hero 3 Plus, we definitely noticed that it is smaller. It's about ½ an ounce lighter. And so one of the biggest things we noticed was that the camera itself didn't change in size.
No, same.
It's just the housing that changed. It's actually quite a bit thinner, and that's what makes it less heavy. Also, the clamp on top is a lot better. We can open it up with one hand instead of trying to fumble with these arrow things. The buttons are a little bit bigger, so it's easier to use with ski gloves.
The lens covering is a lot more streamlined. They've removed all the bolts, which also saves weight.
Yeah. So all in all, more streamlined design, lighter. We love the new design.
One of our first tests was sending both of the GoPros up on an octocopter. And to test the Wi-Fi, we hooked them both up to two separate iPhone 5s in similar conditions. We actually experienced some technical issues with the Wi-Fi from the octocopter remote control set interfering with the Wi-Fi between the GoPros and the iPhones. So we did a second test, went to a football field and tested them for distance.
Yeah. And we got about 15 yards with the original GoPro Hero 3 and about 50 yards with the new app with the GoPro Hero 3 Plus. So it's a little bit better. It was a little bit more responsive. I mean,
faster.
Less than, the old one was a 3-4 second delay when you put your hand in front of it. Now it's probably
pretty noticeable.
½ a second delay now. So it's definitely better.
Not sure how they got the 600 feet measurement on the GoPro website. I mean, in optimal conditions, I'm sure that it would change. We're going to be reviewing those things in depth in the future, but 50 yards approximately.
In all of our tests, we're definitely looking at the quality of video that's coming out of this camera. And GoPro has definitely improved on it. They say that they improved the lens, that some of their firmware makes it less glitchy as far as artifacts.
Yep.
And in the video you definitely saw with the trees, with the octocopter, it's definitely crisper.
Much more sharp.
There's more definition in it. So it's definitely a lot better image quality coming out of the camera.
So equally impressive as the sharpness is the SuperView mode on the new GoPro Hero3 Plus.
It's pretty awesome.
It's extremely wide and amazingly not that distorted. So I think it's gonna really change and really benefit a lot of action sports, rock climbing maybe, a lot of skiers. It gives you an incredible field of view. It's very bright colors, really not distorted. You lose a lot of the fisheye lens effect, even compared to just the normal widescreen mode on the previous GoPro model.
So the audio on the new GoPro Hero3 Plus has definitely improved.
Yeah.
It definitely sounds a lot less muffled than the previous version.
Absolutely.
It's crisper, it's brighter,
Yeah.
Especially when we took it out of the housing and put it into the frame, you could really hear the tones of the guitar come through. And even compared to our expensive microphone or boom mic,
pretty impressive.
it sounded pretty good.
Way to go, GoPro.
Yeah. And then with the new wind cancellation, whether it be firmware or software,
it was pretty
however they're
noticeable.
doing it, it's very noticeable. A lot less wind noise on the motorcycle when we're using the swivel mount. That'll definitely help when you're racing a fast car, when you really want to hear the engine instead of a bunch of wind noise.
Exactly.
It's annoying. So,
Skiers, snowboard, they're all gonna love it.
oh yeah.
So after filming for a day with both the GoPro models, it was pretty easy to notice that the new GoPro model had improved battery life. You could just tell when we were filming in the day.
You change batteries a lot less.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we brought it back to the warehouse and did a time-lapse test, filming at 1080p at 24 frames per second. And the original GoPro Hero 3 lasted about an hour and 41 minutes just straight recording. And the GoPro Hero 3 Plus lasted for over 2 hours, 2 hours, 11 minutes, I think. So about a 30%
About 30%.
increase.
So their claim to better battery life at 30% is actually legit.
It's constant, yeah.
Yeah, so big improvement there. That's going to let you film longer
Yeah.
out in the wild and you change batteries less. All right, so when GoPro claimed to have better low light performance on the Hero 3 Plus, we really gave it a brutal test.
Yeah.
I put it on Brian's sport bike. We went out in Tacoma and did it pretty much in the middle of the night, which is about as bad as it gets for a GoPro or any camera. So it's rather inconclusive. I mean, the sharpness did help with the new GoPro 3 Plus. The color is definitely better at night.
Most noticeable thing.
Yeah. We didn't really notice a lot of difference with the low light mode when we turned it on and off. That's rather inconclusive. All right, so when we first heard that the GoPro Hero 3 Plus was coming out, I was a little bit iffy because the frame rates didn't change at all.
Nope.
You still get 1080 at 60 frames a second. We were hoping for 120 frames per second.
Yeah.
We'll probably have to wait for that a little bit longer. But I'm actually rather impressed with all the changes. I mean, the talk on the web has been, it's not that big of a difference.
It's
but
noticeable.
With SuperView, with the audio quality, with the better battery performance, everything that they claim actually makes this camera a lot better than its predecessor.
Even more user-friendly.
Yeah.
On every kind of
And you
shot.
can even use your same accessories with the Hero 3.
Yeah, that's huge.
So battery backpacks, LCD screens.
Nothing you own is going to be defunct. You can use it, all of it.
Yeah. So I'm rather impressed. I would consider an upgrade if I did have the Hero 3.
Yeah.
If you don't have one yet, obviously get the Hero 3 Plus. It's a great camera.
Yeah.